Make sure you stay to the end of the video. I ended up finding a jerry-rigged switch inside a time clock with a dead short inside of it. I cannot believe someone actually did something this stupid and then just walked away from it. But right now, we're going to finish up all this piping on the exterior of the building. We're in North Attleboro, Massachusetts. I'm going to send the pilot bit in there so I can see where my location is to drill. Once I know my location is good, I'm going to send a 7/8 spade bit all the way through. And that's the perfect size so I can recess a 1/2-inch LB. Now I'm going to be sleeving in this number 14 THHN/THWN. This is weather rated. Do not sleeve Romex on the exterior of a building. It's not weather rated and it will fall apart. I had a lot of people ask me questions, why are you using blue fork crimps? Well, I like to use the blue fork crimps for the ground connections because I cannot stand when people will just strip the ground, wrap the strands around the ground screw with a little bit of insulation to make that ground connection. It's a terrible ground connection. It's a hack job, so we like to use the blue fork crimps, and that makes a good ground connection. We're going to be using a single gang weatherproof cover here. That's going to keep everything nice and watertight. And this is what the exterior of the pipe looks like right here. We got everything siliconed up. That way it's not going to take on water. And this is the first floodlight here on the first floor, I guess you could say, of the deck. And then on the second floor, we got that other floodlight. Notice how we got everything nice and clipped there with an expansion fitting, just in case that pipe expands and contracts. We're going to make sure that we got that expansion fitting. Same thing goes for this other pipe here. We got 3 standoff clips there, and that other floodlight is going to shine down on that egress. So this is that time clock. So I was originally going to take power from this time clock, and then once I opened it up, I ended up finding this 3-way switch in there with that, I thought was just the other conductor was not a neutral, but then once I traced it out into the panel, they hooked up the neutral to the switch and the hot to the switch as well. So if you were to turn that breaker on, which I discovered was off, for good reason, if you would have turned that on, there was a dead short in that switch and it would have just blew up. And luckily, these are old breakers too. So if you were to do something like this, I don't even think the breaker would trip. These Wadesworth breakers are probably like 50 to 60 years old. But I got the whole entire circuit. We got an arc fault receptacle there because, again, I am not going to mess around in that panel. That panel is taken in water. It's rotted, and I notified everyone of what was going on with that. But right now, what you're seeing is a single pole switch there, and that's so you can override the floodlights. We want to make sure that you can still do that. And also, we got that arc fault receptacle right there. Like I said, we loaded out of that, so that whole entire portion of the circuit is arc fault protected, which is mandatory by code. We got everything nice and level and clipped perfectly, so this is a job well done. Everything is labeled with the circuit number. So if you're in the Massachusetts or Rhode Island area and you're looking for a high-quality electrician, give us a call.